The next reaction we're about to go into is about the Island Boys. And I don't know if y'all know anything about the Island Boys, but they're a wild group of brothers. A wild group of brothers who have gotten into a lot, and I say a lot, of trouble over the years. Whether it be from the partying, the drugs, the women, them trying to shoot another streamer, Jack Doherty, in his own house, to even some wild stuff they did with each other on OnlyFans. And they're twin brothers, by the way. And so, I guess as of recently, they came into contact with Bryce Crawford. And yo, shout out to Bryce Crawford, bro, because I love the podcast that he has. It's not one of those typical Christian podcasts where you bring on like-minded people and you have the same conversation over and over again. Like, no. He actually brings people who are Christian, but there are also people who are struggling their faith or people who are completely outside of it, like the Island Boys. And he has like genuine, real conversations about Christ, even like witnessing to his guests. And so, yeah, I gotta drop a bomb for that. W. Bryce, bro. W. Bryce. And so in this story, or in this interview, he actually talks to the Island Boys, and he kind of gets into their testimony and their story, and he begins to witness to them and preach to them. And in this particular part of the video, they actually get into them having a near-death experience. And so, and then from there, Bryce kind of talks to him about Jesus. So we're going to react to this, yo, and then we're going to discuss.
Peace, abundance, prosperity, and feeling loved, unconditional love, and just feel free in life.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think about Jesus, God? What do you guys think about Jesus?
I pray. I'm not like 100% religious. Like, I don't like pray before I eat or something like that. But I believe that there's a higher power. I believe in God's presence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm the same way.
I felt it.
I believe there's a higher power. I prayed right there, actually, and it was a pretty good prayer. I feel like, asking for forgiveness and stuff like that. Just trying to open my mind and open my ears. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with God. I love God a lot. We live in such a wicked, cold world where it's just everybody's just, and you're a good guy, but there's people that are not, and we live in a very cold world where they're fake and they just use people, and it's disgusting in the world that we live in.
There was a time I took it out on God and like my relationship with him. Mm-hmm. I would always,
which goes to show that he's very immature in his spirituality, because God has nothing to do with the sin of man. Okay, that's man's choice why they choose to act the way they are. The world is sick because of man. God did not create the earth to be the way that it is. When he created it, he created it perfect, and then it was through man's actions that the world is the way it is today.
Just pray before I go out to the courtroom in the holding cell, and I would just get a slap on my wrist. And one day they're like, "You're not getting out. Wait till your next court date. You're not getting out. You're not getting out."
What happened to me too.
Then I get sentenced. Every time I prayed, and I also prayed to my dead dad, like an angel in Spanish and English, and then Amen. Yeah. But what is it called? Then I took it out on him. You know what I'm saying? For like a year.
And what do you guys think happens when we die? Like every human being has a timer on their life. So when that clock's
I
done.
felt like I died before.
You feel like you've died before? What does that mean? Like
my first seizure, or first or second seizure, it was one next to his baby mom.
Oh, so you had a seizure? Did you go into a coma and then like come back out?
Something like that.
He had a real long seizure.
They narcaned me and everything.
It could have been an overdose. I've overdosed myself too. I know exactly what he's talking about. Go ahead.
But when you get in those positions,
I felt like I lifted in a black, dark room, and I felt like since I didn't die fully, I couldn't come out the ceiling and see the light.
Interesting.
That's how it felt like. And then I came back.
Do you feel like that?
Trapped.
Do you feel like that there's life after death, or do you think that it just goes all black? What do you guys think?
My soul left my body, so probably.
I feel like I said exactly what he said. I don't feel like there's a life after this. I feel like your soul goes somewhere, but I don't think
I felt nothing.
I don't think your body or flesh is going anywhere. I think your flesh and skin and your body is done for. I think your soul is gonna go somewhere. That's what I think. Do I know everything else? No, I don't. But I believe there was a past life. Like I believe that some people they might be 30 years old, but they're really 60 years old because they lived this life for another lifespan. I believe in past life. I don't know too much about afterlife though, dog. I really don't.
Yeah, that's okay.
Brother's
I think when you code, you
confused.
code.
Like, have you guys ever looked into Christianity or looked into any religion or?
See, this is what I love about Bryce and what he does with this, right? Because like he gets to know the guests, like their story and like with their perspective, and then he goes into sharing the gospel with them. W. Bryce.
Not really. I mean, because I feel like, right, if I was in the position of like an overdose or something like that, like that is terrifying. That is a terrifying position to be in. Like I feel like my heart would be beating and wanting to think that there's something great.
It
Like,
actually slows down.
Yeah.
do you feel like, were you not feeling anxious about, oh, what's going to happen when if I don't make it or things like that? Or that wasn't really a thought that crossed your mind?
When I possibly OD'd,
Or
had seizures.
possibly OD'd, had the seizure and saved for you, fly.
Are you
like-
asking if we looked into like God about it?
Like, no. Because what I'm saying is like in those moments, right? Like if I was in a life or death situation and I didn't know I was going to come out the other side, and if I didn't believe in God, I feel like my heart, for me personally, I feel like my heart would be racing. Like I wouldn't know. Were you guys kind of freaking out in that moment?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
too.
Yes. Yes.
I remember freaking out at the simple fact that I already had so much seizures. I was like, and I'm not epileptic, and they're not giving me an answer of why I'm having them. I thought I wasn't gonna be able to like take care of myself, like be independent, because I like being independent.
Yeah.
So that was a problem for me, health wise.
Yeah, like for me, it's like I've been in a lot of experiences where like it was life or death, and I've been shot at. I've been I've OD'd a couple times, and I'll be honest with you. Yeah, there was one OD where my heart was racing probably like I don't know, like 400 times a minute. 400 times a minute.
Crazy. That's so wild.
You
400
OD,
beats a
you
minute.
OD'd, you said?
Oh yeah, he should have been dead.
Who do you guys?
Narcaned yourself?
Chad, that's death right there. 400 times a minute. Ugh. God.
No, I passed out.
Who do you guys think created you?
Created what?
Who do you guys think
Opioids?
created you? Where do you
The
guys?
Watson family?
Oh, yes.
No, where do you guys think you're from? Like who?
The
Do,
addiction?
no. Like who do you think created you? Like your
Like
physical
who
body?
created you as a person?
Yeah.
dude funny,
Do you
bro.
think someone created you, or
And I believe that what's it called? Like everything that's created obviously was made by mankind in a way. But I believe in a higher power. I'm more towards the spiritual.
Spirituality.
and what is that?
And that's the thing. That's a common thing, chat. It's spirituality. But there's no, like, what's the spirit that you're going to? That's such a common thing that you hear today. Like, I don't believe in God, but I believe. It's like, I believe in spirituality. What does that mean? What does that mean? There's never like a straight answer for that.
What is that higher power?
We don't think much of like who created us. We think more of like what is our purpose of being in here.
Right.
A vibration.
Yeah, vibrations and
Energy.
and what is our purpose and what's around us and who's around us and what are we doing and how can we benefit off of this. That's more like it. We don't sit there and think like God created us, but like I said, we're very big believers of God.
Yeah. I just feel like a lot of people just forget about God and take that for granted.
Yeah. I don't know. You guys don't know anything about.
But he literally just like said he doesn't believe. Okay.
My life, my story.
No.
Nothing at all. I grew up going to church.
Yeah.
I grew up in a Christian school.
Yeah.
That is when he
But
goes
I
into his
didn't
testimony.
Follow
which I
God
love.
because it didn't mean anything to me. I thought Jesus was just the guy that was on my Bible tests in school because I
Yeah.
went to a Christian school. And I just kind of had this bitterness and resentment towards God and didn't really care about Jesus. And when I got in the 8th grade, I got really bad depression and anxiety. For years, I had bad depression and anxiety, like crippling depression and anxiety. And no one knew about it. It was just something I never told anyone. But when I would come home from school, I would just like lay in my bed and like at night and just be sad and depressed and anxious. So when I was 17, I planned on taking my life to end the depression and anxiety because the depression and anxiety, it feels incurable sometimes. It feels like you can't get the pain to go away. So I thought the only way I can get the pain to go away is if I just take my life. So the night I was planning on taking my life, I went to have my last meal at a Waffle House. And when I was at Waffle House,
now that makes sense how he has those Waffle House shirts. Now I understand. Now that makes sense. Because I see him with like God, Jesus loves you, and it's like the Waffle House sign, but I never understood why. Okay, this makes sense.
God revealed himself to me. Jesus encountered me when I was in that Waffle House, and he stopped me. So I prayed this prayer to Jesus. I said, okay, Jesus, if you're real, because he revealed himself to me when I was in this restaurant. If you're real, take away my anxiety and depression, because that's why I wanted to take my life.
Serious.
And I haven't had crippling anxiety or depression since that day. And that was my like foot in the door of thinking, okay, because all the questions I just asked you guys are the questions I asked myself for years. Like, who created everything? Who, you know, what does my life have purpose? You know, if there is no afterlife, why am I trying to be a good person? This was all before I became a Christian, because if nothing happens when we die, we don't have any reason or motive to be a good person.
Well, you know, and I have God in my subconscious mind, but you know, there was times, like, I won't lie, like, you know, I was living in an apartment, and
So one thing I love about this chat, one thing I love about Bryce for this, is that as you saw, he gets to know people that come on his show, and then he tells them his testimony and how he came to Christ, and then he begins a conversation with them of how they come into the faith. And so I love it for people like the Island Boys, where these dudes are like wildly popular on the internet, and just, you know, can you imagine the kind of influence they would have if they actually came to know Christ? The amount of young people that would be touched by these two boys. And so I'm not going to play the entire thing because it's an hour and a half long. But I played this because I wanted to show y'all, like, yo, God can touch anybody. He can touch anybody. He can reach anybody. Even dudes like the Island Boys who, you know, been wilding for a minute. I mean, for a minute. I'm not even going to say some of the stuff that I've seen or heard them do. But this just goes to show you that God can reach anybody. If anybody who thinks that they're like forever lost or they're untouchable, no. The Lord can reach you. He can touch you, and you are more than enough. You are more than enough. And even though I'm not playing the rest of this, like, if you go back and watch the entire thing, like, these boys are actually asking questions, and like having like genuine conversation with Bryce about Jesus and the things of Christianity, which tells me, like, not only is that seed being planted in them, but also like they're being watered. The seed is being watered. And so they leave this interview with these thoughts and these questions that I pray that ultimately the Lord reveals to them, and then they come to know Christ genuinely and fully soon enough. So, Bryce Crawford for this conversation.